What if everything you're experiencing right now, this moment, these thoughts, the room around you, isn't real at all? Not in the Matrix sense, not a simulation built by machines, but something far more intimate and unsettling. What if you're already dead, and what you perceive as your life now is merely a prolonged hallucination in the final seconds of brain activity? This isn't just horror movie fodder or sci fi speculation. It's a serious philosophical and scientific idea that continues to intrigue minds across disciplines. The concept that you've already died, you just haven't noticed yet, suggests that death, as we commonly understand it, might not be the abrupt black void we fear. Instead, consciousness may persist momentarily after the heart stops, projecting a vivid dreamlike experience that seems to stretch on forever. This eerie concept touches on everything from quantum mechanics and time perception to the nature of consciousness and the mystery of subjective experience. If the brain can generate entire dream worlds in REM sleep, why couldn't it craft an artificial life scenario in the throes of death? A powerful hallucinogen released by the brain in extreme trauma is known to induce intensely vivid, lifelike experiences, encounters with loved ones, spiritual entities, or reliving past memories. Some scientists speculate that in death's final moments, the mind may deploy this biochemical defense, an immersive illusion of life that acts as a buffer against the terror of non-existence. Studies have found brain activity in dying animals and even humans for short periods after clinical death. In 2013, researchers at the University of Michigan discovered a surge of coordinated brain activity moments after death in rats. This surge resembled heightened conscious processing, not diminished. In 2022, a man who died while undergoing an EEG scan revealed patterns that some interpreted as the brain replaying memories, a final mental life review. Philosophers have long toyed with this idea in different forms. Think of Zhuangzi's dream of being a butterfly, uncertain whether he is a man dreaming of a butterfly or a butterfly dreaming of a man, or Descartes' skepticism about the reliability of sensory experience. He famously questioned how we could ever be sure that life isn't a dream manipulated by some invisible power. In modern terms, this echoes brain in a vat thought experiments, suggesting all experience may be artificially constructed. The idea that time dilates in the brain's final seconds is also compelling. When you dream, a few seconds of real time can feel like hours. Imagine if the dying brain stretches your last moments into what feels like a lifetime or several. In this version, everything you've done in the past may just be part of a looping simulation created to ease your passage into the void, or even serve as a judgment or purgatory of your own mind's making. What you think is your life is actually your death. This theory blends disturbingly well with spiritual beliefs and mystical traditions. Tibetan Buddhism speaks of the Bardo state, a liminal zone between death and rebirth, where the soul experiences illusions shaped by its karma and attachments. Ancient Egyptian mythology features judgment scenes that echo post-death consciousness navigating symbolic events. Whether divine or psychological, these states may today be understood as metaphors for what the mind might do during the dying process. Some scientists and skeptics reject these notions as pseudoscience or philosophical fantasy. They argue that we have no concrete evidence of postmortem consciousness, and that brain surges could be residual electrical noise rather than signs of thought or awareness. But even within mainstream neuroscience, the exact nature and limits of consciousness remain one of the great unsolved mysteries. If we don't fully understand what consciousness is or how it arises, how can we claim to know when it truly ends? The deeper question becomes, does it matter? If your current experience is indistinguishable from reality, if you love, think, suffer, and dream, does it matter whether it's happening in the final milliseconds before brain death? Reality, after all, is defined by perception. The fact that this idea disturbs us may only prove how tightly we cling to our version of reality. But there's a paradoxical freedom here, too. If life is a memory flickering through the fading corridors of a dying brain, then it is yours, uniquely, wholly yours. That final theater of mind, however illusory, still offers beauty, connection, and meaning. Maybe we live not because we are breathing, but because we remember how it felt to breathe. So what does it mean to be alive? To know joy, to suffer loss? If your current reality is a dream stitched together in the final burst of neurons, it still matters. Your story matters. You may never know if you're already dead, but in choosing to live your illusion with integrity, wonder, and love, perhaps that's the most alive any of us ever really gets.